Chair Pham, Vice Chair Anderson, members of the committee. I'm Jeff Golden. I represent Senate District 2, which encompasses Representative Marsh's district, Representative Wallen's district in the Rogue Valley. Thank you very much for the opportunity to give my comments on House Bill 3054. I am here because a very specific segment of people in my district are suffering in a fearful and unnecessary way. Rep. Marsh has described how some of that works, and I'm pretty sure the same is true in all of our districts. These people are mostly older, and they've worked hard for most of their lives towards a common goal: financial security after their working years ended, free from the fear that they wouldn't be able to cover their basic living costs with housing at the top of the list. Many believed they had crossed the finish line when they were able to purchase a manufactured home of their own in a park with affordable space rentals that might claim 5 to 20% of their fixed incomes. The rent on those park spaces have turned out to be anything but fixed, generally rising more than inflation and often much more. That trend was turbocharged in recent years by the entry of the most sophisticated institutional investors, many Wall Street based, whose explicit mission is maximizing profit, what they call ROI, by any means available. They're very good at this mission. The result has been an agonizing surprise for millions of older Americans who thought they had cleared the hurdle of retirement security. We've been talking about this issue long enough that you probably understand the perverse dynamic at play here. We are not talking about an auto purchase or renting a hotel room where you take your business elsewhere if you don't like what's on offer, which assumes that you find an elsewhere with terms you like better. You can't do that when your space rental costs skyrocket past what your budget can support simply because there is no economically viable way to move your home. Which is to say, this bill does not interfere with the free market because there is no free market here in an authentic sense. I've read emails from park owners who don't fit that profit-maximizing hedge fund style model, although fewer since the decision to exempt parks with 30 spaces or less from this bill. Rep. Marsh is quite accurate. There are owners there really genuinely trying to provide affordable service for their tenants. One of these folks, one of these emails said that she was worried they might have a costly repair need, say a sewer system repair, that combined with this bill's limits would put them in the red for a year or more. Rep. Marsh already referenced a provision in the bill for a year of extra rate capacity, but it won't be a common scenario that you would be so far in the red, but it could happen. And that is exactly the reason that successful businesses build a reserve with a percentage of their earnings every profitable year, preparing for the rarer hard year when earnings don't cover all the needs. Most businesses do not expect customers who have made them profitable year after year to then bear the burden for capital repairs that are generally baked into the normal prices that make them profitable. You will hear stories this afternoon that convey the central problem better than I can. I hope you'll take those fully in, along with the number and substance of revisions to this proposal in response to concerns that sponsors wanted to address. This proposal's been through an unusual amount of work in an effort to get it right. Let me close with a word about getting it right and its limitations. We've been watching this increasing squeeze on manufactured homeowners for decades now without meaningful action because there is no getting it absolutely right, no solution to this crisis that will entirely fit everyone's needs. That leaves us with two choices. We can say, well, I guess this one's not the solution either, which means telling thousands of deeply insecure older Oregonians one more time that we can't do anything for them. Or we can move ahead with a rigorously considered compromise that made concessions to everyone's concerns and finally provide some relief. If we throw up our hands and walk away again, more senior Oregonians who worked hard for some basic security in their later years will lose their homes to increase the profit margin of enterprises that in most cases are already immensely profitable. because the moderating dynamics of market competition do not apply to them. We have a clear and fair opportunity here to reduce daily suffering in our communities. I ask this committee to pass House Bill 3054 onto the Senate floor. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Senator. Thank you both.